Let's talk about the scar. What's going on, guys? I hope all y'all are doing great. This video I have been waiting to do for quite some time. I never thought I would be able to do the video I'm doing, which is obviously the Scar 17S, as you can see from the title. So let's dive into it now. So the FN Scar 17S, yes, this is the civilian version, not the Scar H, the Scar Heavy. Those out there, the Scar Heavy, which is full auto, of course, I don't know why you would want a full auto 308, especially a Scar. That would not be that fun, unless you just want to be that guy to say you want a full auto Scar. But, going into it, why did I purchase the FN Scar 17S? This has always been my dream gun when I was a kid, seen all the movies, played all the video games. This was always the eye catcher on a movie to me of a rifle or a firearm. This always brought me attention to it. Young, started looking up reviews on it, watching YouTube, which you guys are doing now, and kept pulling myself to get one, but I did not want to pay the price for this rifle, which is very expensive. With all the add-ons to it and everything else, you buy an expensive gun, you obviously want to put expensive parts on it. So this is my dream gun, one of my dream guns. But this was the most gun I wanted that I told myself I would never have, and I finally got one. I've had this rifle, guys, since about February of this year, so going on 10, 11 months, about 10 months. So I have got to use it, test it, put quite a few rounds through it. And finally, before I was gonna do an unboxing of this, but I wanted a full-on review of the Scar and my thoughts on it and what I like and don't like about it. So I've had almost a year to be messing with the Scar and shooting quite a bit. So I got my opinion, got my thoughts on it, and bring one to you guys who is looking at purchasing maybe an FN Scar 17S. front to rear. I have not messed with the muzzle device yet. I will eventually get this suppressed. I don't know what suppressor I want, so I don't know what muzzle device I want yet. Next, you can see sticking out, I got the all black version. This does come in FDE, which was my dream, the FDE Scar, but after looking at a bunch of reviews and getting to see one in person, my favorite color is black, and this thing in all black, I mean, it's sexy. Yes, call my gun sexy, but chose all black. I'm running the Surefire M600U. This is 1,000 lumens. And with all you see all these wires, I tried to cover them up a little bit, not out of the way. It works for now. I'm getting a new pressure switch, but I'm running a Surefire dual pressure switch right now. I do not need a dual, but it's the only thing I had laying around. I don't have a single one yet. I actually borrowed the dual from a friend to run my light, so I'll be getting the single because I do not need a dual right now. I will not be running a PEC 15 or anything on the Scar. Let's see, going down the scope. This is a Trijicon Accupower 1x8. Scope mount is just something, it was in recommendations on Amazon. I got this scope mount, sucks. I'm just gonna throw it out there. This scope mount is terrible. I will be getting a better scope mount and dropping some money in it. Don't know what it'll be. It might be a Scalarworks, but just a cheap scope mount. I think this scope mount was like 140 bucks. And it was something they recommended with the Trijicon. Don't know what brand it is, so yeah. Forgot to mention here, this is just the BCM Shorty. I really don't like vertical foregrips. I'm not a person that grips the whole entire grip. That is not what a vertical foregrip is for. Basically, to position my hand better, to operate my pressure switch up here, and it gives me a more natural position on when I grip the gun. This is, I don't know if you guys know what this is, but it is a Reptilia. I think I'm saying that right, Reptilia. So Reptilia pistol grip. So I bought the MOE Plus from Magpul and it would not fit. I know some people say they have to Dremel out to make it fit flush. I didn't want to go through that trouble, so I just went with a Reptilia, a smaller grip. This grip has some pros and cons. For one, I don't know if you can tell, but compared to the regular grips come on the Scars, regular mil-spec ones, and the MOE from Magpul, it is short. I have small hands, but as you can see, my hand barely fits this all the way. My pinky finger is right on the edge. So it is small, but I do like how vertical this is. It is a more natural position for me, and I shoot more accurate with it. So with it being short, the only other thing I do not like for the Reptilia grip is whenever you are shooting quite a bit, this right here where the grip meets the trigger guard, this will rub the shit out of your hand over and over if you're not wearing gloves. And I do not wear a glove on my shooting hand, but just over and over, even just right here, I shot this quite a bit today, and my finger's raw from it, from this slot right here. Other than that, I do like the Reptilia pistol grip on this. This currently just has the stock trigger that comes on the Scar. Later on, I will be getting the Geisley Super Scar trigger. I know a lot of people, whenever they get their Scar, that is one of the first things they do is replace the trigger, if not the stock. I don't mind the stock trigger. For a stock trigger, it's really not that bad. Yes, the Geisley Super Scar is a hell of a lot better, and I will be getting one, but I just don't have a couple, what, $300, $340, $330, whatever they cost right now, to put in the Scar, but that will be coming later on. But for now, this is fine. The trigger, it works. As long as it works, why change it? Last but not least, the old Ugg boot stock. Yes, whenever you see a Scar, a lot of people think Ugg boot. This stock, a lot of people complain about and say, oh, it looks like an Ugg boot, it's ugly. This makes the Scar look. I mean, I actually really like the stock on this Scar. There is a stock I maybe want to purchase later on, which is from Kinetic Development, and I might get that later on, but for now, this is original. It's the original Scar. It looks good. As far as the optic goes, yes, I wanted a scope. I about bought an EOTech, but after thinking about it, I just said, you know what, let's get something with some magnification. And what do I want to get? I originally wanted the Elcon, however you pronounce that. The 4x, I originally wanted that on here, but that is about $1,000 more than this. So I just went with a Trijicon Accupower. I also looked at the EOTech Voodoos, but I got a good deal on the Accupower, and it's been out for a while. Trijicon's got their lifetime warranty. So if my scope breaks, hit up Trijicon, something's happened, send it in, they will help me out. As far as the scope goes, it makes the gun obviously look good. Scope mount is terrible, but this scope is great. Thought about later on putting an Elcon, whatever you want to say, on this and throw this, say, on my dang little fence, but I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future. So the price, that is probably what most of y'all are wanting to know. Nick, how much was the Scar, or just how much was your Scar? Scar was around $3,500 right at it after taxes and everything else on it. I'm not going into how much everything was, but this whole setup right here is around $5,300 to $5,500 with everything on it. So yes, this is an expensive gun. It did take me a little bit to buy it, but one of my dream gun, I'm gonna save up for it. So yeah, $5,500. That is, it's a little ridiculous, but like I said, it's your guys' money. So whatever makes you happy, no money does not buy happiness, but it bought my dream gun, so I cannot complain about that. So I could have purchased something else for a bunch more guns, or did some custom Glocks, souped up ARs, whatever I want to do, suppressors, but I wanted it, been wanting it, so do I regret it? No, not at all. I can actually say I want a Scar 17S, which I never thought I'd be able to say, but yeah, I like it. Now I've seen a couple reviews of why people hate the FN Scar 17S. People said the weight, now strip everything off and just have my basic stock Scar. This is light. Then you start throwing on magnification, putting in a 20 round load of mag, lights, your grips, everything else. If I throw a 10 on it, it's heavy. Right now, I don't know the exact weight, but this gun, this rifle is not light. This is heavy. But like I said, it's light right out of the box. So some videos I've seen, the reviews on the Scar, people have complained that it jams a lot. I know whenever some of you guys in the military that have used this, y'all, I've seen some video, I think it was Vigilance Elite. I think that's the guy's name, but saw his, basically it says, why does SEALs hate the Scar? I'm not in the military, so I will not be taking this overseas, sand, wherever kind of environment I'm at. This is just for my collection to have fun, home defense, whatever you want to use. This is my collection, so I'm not going to be in environments or weathers, whatever you want to call it, that's going to affect really where I shoot. But they were saying that the Scar had many problems whenever you're shooting, tried different ammos, and they had a lot of cycling issues. Out of, I think right now, out of all of my rounds total, I am at, not a lot because it's a 308, I can't go spend a couple $1,000s to shoot, but I'm around 350, 400, about 400 rounds. So it's getting broken in and just getting my thoughts out there, and it's $1 a bullet pretty much. I've only had one issue with cycling. Don't know what it was, but I've had one issue, and that was said. That's it. So one issue out of the 400, not mad about it. But as this goes later on and I start shooting a lot more rounds, I will make an updated video, say after my 1,000 rounds or a 1,500 round review, updated review of the Scar, and let you guys know how it's doing. Another complaint people do not like was this does not accept PMags. You can have the Scar accept PMags. You have to buy a whole new lower. I know one lower you can get right now is from X Products, and there's a couple other companies, but you can get those lowers, and this can now take your Magpul P-Mags, which is a lot cheaper than the Scar mags. These mags cost roughly, depends on where you get them at, around $35 to $42. So they're not terrible. Obviously P-Mags are a lot cheaper than that, but your aluminum mags, they are heavier. I am a big fan of aluminum though. I think they last longer, but yeah, P-Mags will fit in this if you spend a couple $100 more on getting a whole new lower. And then you have your irons that come on the Scar. It's got the HK style front, flip up rear, flip up front. It's got your adjustable gas block for if you decide to throw a can on here. So that will be later on. But the stock irons on the Scar is pretty good. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on the FN Scar 17S. Guys, if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. And if you could like this video and subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed to me already, and hit the little bell notification so whenever I post, you guys will be notified of what kind of video I post. But if you're not following me on Instagram, I'll leave a link to my channel down in the description below. I post more frequently over there, and I have some pretty cool content of guns and gear. If you guys are interested in seeing that, I'll leave it down below. And if you want to help with this channel a little bit more, subscribe to me on Patreon. That will help me get more editing softwares and guns and gear and just stuff to bring you guys more content and better content that you guys want to see. But guys, thanks again, and as always, have a good one.